Hello pretties, welcome to Web Surreal. So we're doing another palette battle. It's been a year since I've done this. I had to update my little things here. This was, I believe, created by Sophie Alexandra, which I'll leave her down below. And I know that it's just Steph does it as well. I'll leave her down below as well. I believe she's currently doing her March Madness, which I'm excited for. I will say though, this time around, I got categories, y'all. I have like actual categories I need to go by. So I don't know if that's gonna slow us down or speed us up. Most likely does slow us down. So this may have to be a multiple series kind of situation just to try to get through them, especially because I do want to do it like bracket style and eventually land in like one palette that we're doing for this. But before we get started, I want to give you guys my categories, and I'm trying to find my little comment where I have them. Okay, so I have color story, different formulas or textures, everyday usage, inspiration, formula like blendability, fallout, things like that. I have pigmentation, buildable, and I have the feels. But I want to include one more that I just thought of right now, and that's going to be, hold on, edit. I want to add one for packaging, because some of this, I'm telling you guys, the packaging is a problem and we're gonna have to include it. So we're gonna do this. Now, I will say though, this is not the most popular series in my channel, which is why I only do it once a year, but it is one that I actually very thoroughly enjoyed. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna go through these. We're just gonna try to get through as many as we get through within the next like 20 minutes. I want this video to just be 20 minutes. It is what it is. If we have to do more videos in the series, we'll just do more videos in the series. But anyway, let's pick two palettes. Here we are. All right, what do we got? We have the Identity 2 palette, one of my faves. And we do have the Pillow Talk Dreams. This was not a fair fight. I can tell you right now, without having to like do all the categories, it's gonna be the Identity 2 palette that moves on. But you know, we're going through the motion. So I'm pulling out the palettes. Identity 2, here we go, and Pillow Talk Dreams, which I believe I have it out front, which I do. Okay, so we're doing 1 to 5 real quick. Color story for Pillow Talk Dreams, it's a 2. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. There's not much to it. It's not even my favorite. Like, I don't really love pinks all that much. So this one's a 2. Should I go for 3? If I'm no, we're gonna be cutthroat. This is a 2. This is a 2. We're sticking to it. Different formulas / textures. There's not a lot of that. This is a 3. I will say this is a very nice formula. But in case of like, you know, versatility, there's not much to it. So it's a 3. It's pretty straightforward. There's massive shimmer. It's that. Then we go for everyday usage. If I was into pinks a bit more, I think this would be a very nice everyday. I have a nice transition, have a deepening shade, have a lighter shade, I have a more of a lit shade. I have everything I need. It's just, this is not my color story. So again, we're going for a 3, but this is due to personal preferences. For inspiration, this palette does not inspire me very much. So unfortunately, that's gonna be a 1. So not great. For formula, this is actually really nice formula. I would give this one a 4. I think the mattes are really nice. They're buildable, they're blendable, they don't have a lot of fallout. Even these ones, which are a little more glittery, I was worried that I was gonna have quite a bit of fallout. Not the case at all. This is a very nice, solid formula. Solid 4. A little bit more better than average. So solid. No issues with that. Packaging. The package is cute. It's nice. I don't struggle to open it. It's not very weighted, which I guess for $55 I was hoping it would be more weighted, but it isn't. We're just gonna let that one go. But honestly, the packaging's nice. I really like it. I think it's better than some of the other minis that I have, if I'm being honest. It feels a little nicer than some of the other minis that I have. So packaging, we're gonna give it a 4. It's a solid, nice packaging. For pigmentation buildability, it's very nice. Pigmentation straight off the bat. It blends beautifully. I don't struggle. I'm not blending for forever. I think I can do a really, really quick, easy look with this if I wanted to. So that's gonna be 4. It's good. It's good. I like it. For the feels, This is unfortunately a 1. And the biggest reason why this is a 1 is because I constantly forget about this palette. So it is what it is. Then we go for Persona Identity 2. I got a lot to say. Okay, color story. For me, this 4. I love this color story, but I love like smoky shades. I love the jewel tones. I love that I can make it soft. I can make it deeper. I love the colors. I love everything about this palette. So it's a 4. Is it perfect? No, which is why it's not a 5. So we're going with a 4. Different formulas and textures. There's not really a lot of that. It's pretty down the middle. It's fabulous, fabulous mattes and really, really smooth shimmers. But that's all you're getting. So that's a 3. You know, it's solid, it's down the middle, is perfect. Everyday usage, for me, this could be an everyday palette. I could use this every day, I have no issues with this. So to me, everyday usage is a 4. The only reason I'm not putting it at a 5 is because it can be really smoky at times and it can be a little too intense. I think I can pull it off, so I'm not particularly mad about it, but I don't always want that, and sometimes these looks can kind of get away from me. I've been on for that. Inspiration. I get so much inspiration when I look at this palette. Whenever I look at it, I know exactly what I'm doing. If I'm trying to do something more cool toned or more purple, green, like I have so much inspiration when I look at this palette. So for me, this is a 4. It's not perfect, but it's a 4. Okay. Formula, blendability, fallout. This is by far, not by far. This one is in the top 3, maybe top 5 formulas in my collection. If you have not tried the Persona Cosmetics formula, you are missing out. Especially, I don't have mature eyelids, but I feel like I have used this on my mom, and my mom absolutely loved it. The formula is fabulous. Persona Cosmetics formula is amazing. I'm giving it a 5. All right. Packaging. This is actually really nice packaging. It's actually weighted. It has a huge mirror. Like really nice big mirror. The packaging is really sturdy. This is really nice packaging actually. So we're going for a 5 for packaging. I like this packaging. Pigmentation and buildable. You know what I just realized? Formula and pigmentation and buildability, I feel like those are pretty intangible. I think interchangeable. So we're gonna get rid of that one because I already said how I feel about this formula. It's fabulous. So we're taking that one out. For the feels, this palette gives me all the feels. It's been one of my favorites for many years. We're doing it a 5. So as I said, this one, we're moving on. So let's see, what is it, Identity 2? Oh, did not mean to do that, sorry guys. We're gonna put it on the side. This one, it's moving out. All right, what else we got? Okay, we've got Rodin. Okay. And we've got the child. For the sake of time, I'm gonna pause, come back, okay? All right, I'm back. This one's another one that straight off the bat, I know for sure which one's moving on. No questions about it. But I do think the child's gonna surprise me. So the child is the one that I'm choosing that is not, I don't think it's gonna move on. But we'll find out. We're gonna have to add up these numbers, okay? So for color story, I actually love this color story, and I'm gonna put it at 4. I love this color story. I actually think there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. I love greens also. I think you can do something softer, definitely get a little bit more out there, and I honestly really love this formula. So we're currently at 4 points. We have different formulas and textures. There's actually quite a bit of differentiation here. You do have it's not a glittery shade, but it's a bit more glittery. You have the Super Shock, you have your smooths, you have your sequins, they have the mattes. There's actually quite a bit of variety in different formulations here, which is really good for a little 9-pound palette. So I'm gonna give it a 4. So we're currently at 8 points. Okay, everyday usage. That's where we lose it. I'm gonna put it as a 2. Obviously, even though I love greens, I'm not using greens every single day. I think it's really hard to pair with my clothes. I do think that these 2 shades give you a little something, and you can kind of make these look more neutral. So you could potentially use this every day. I personally don't. So we're going as a 2. So now we're at 10 points. For inspiration, I actually, when I look at this palette, get a lot of inspiration. And I enjoy every look that I make, and if I want to do something deeper, if I want to do something softer, I just feel like I just look at it and I know exactly what I'm going to do with it. So for inspiration, I'm gonna give it a 4. So we're 14. For formula, the formula is honestly really nice. If you haven't tried Colourpop has a very solid formula. Is it my favorite formula? No. Does it take a little longer to blend? Yes. It not too much longer. It doesn't take forever, but it takes a little longer to blend, you know? Some of the shimmers can have a little fallout, but not anything that upsets me, like where it's like outrageous. So I don't have a problem with that, but I'm gonna give this one, I'm gonna give it a 3. It's a solid formula. So we're at 17 now. For packaging, okay. If this is not the cutest little thing, I'm not even a Star Wars fan, but this is cute. It has the little mirror. Can't really show you the mirror too much, but it has like the cute little mirror. It has another one of the little thingies right here. So this is just like super cute. You know, it's packaging. So 21. We're 4 more points. Okay, so for we're skipping that one. So for the feels, this one gives me the feels. It's cute. It's another 4 points. We're at 25. God, Rodin, please don't disappoint me. So 25. We'll see. I feel like Rodin's gonna, because I have some problems with Rodin, if I'm being honest. So we're at 25 points for the child. I didn't add up my points, did I, for my last one? That's okay. All right. So for color, actually, we can skip around to packaging because packaging is a 1, okay? I'm gonna give it a 2. I honestly love how sturdy this packaging is, which makes it very easy for me to travel with it. The problem is I don't travel all that often, but every time I use it, it's a fucking pain in the ass to open it. I always have to use something like dig it open. So packaging is a 2. It's actually really nice packaging. It has a relatively nice size mirror considering how small this palette is. And this palette is tiny, okay? It's tiny, tiny, tiny. But it's hard to open. Excuse me. Okay, color story. It's simple. I give you that. It's simple. But it has everything you need. Honestly, this goes a lot deeper than you may think. I think this pink is actually gorgeous. It's very muted, but very pigmented. It does a lot. I love this very neutral shade. I think you have the perfect amount of shimmers. You have something smoky, you want just a little glittery. It looks pink. It has like a little bit of like a rose to it, but it's actually quite soft. And then this is more like a pearl if you want it in the inner corner, in the brow bone, or if you actually want to put it all over your lid. I think it's a perfect little mini nude palette. And so for color story, we're going to 5. So we're currently at 6. Different formulas and textures. There's actually quite a bit of different textures within this. I think you're getting a really nice solid shimmer. You get a pearlized, and you're getting a this is more of like a glitter topper kind of situation. It's not like, you see that there's not a lot of pigment in it. It's quite literally more of like a glitter topper. A little bit of like a duochrome shift, but not really. It's like super minute. So all that being said, I'm gonna give it a 4. So I lost 10. That's where we're at. 10. Everyday usage, 5. I mean, if this was not your everyday palette, I don't know what your everyday palette is. 15. All right, inspiration. This is not that palette where you're like, look at it and you're gonna get like a tons of inspiration, because there's not much to it, but it's so easy to like come up with a look. Like I never struggle, and I took this one to Vegas and I had very different eye looks every single day. So for inspiration, knock me if you want. 4. I kind of lost track of where we're at points wise. I think I'm at 20 right now, I think. For formula, if you've not tried the M Cosmetics formula, you are missing out. This is a very, very nice, very solid formula. Is it my favorite formula? No. But it's in the top 5? Yes. Yes, it is. These are blendable. They're pigmented. There's a lot more pigment here than you think, but they blend like a dream. These are nice, solid. I don't have fallout. I had seen online once somebody say that they use this formula without eyeshadow primer, and I can totally see that because I have done it before and it still looks fabulous. So formula, 5. Okay? I think we're already over the number, so we're good. I already talked about packaging. We're gonna move on. The feels. I get all the feels from like this little palette. So this is 4. I like it. I like it. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay, we're over their amount points. I was like questioning myself for a second, but we're good. I think this is at about 29. I think at 29. So I love this little palette. We're moving on. Okay, let's pick 2 more things. All right, we've now got, let's see, my Dream palette from Natasha Denona and Nudie Patootie. Oh, this one's hard. Ooh, okay. Well, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I think for the sake of trying to do this, I think we're gonna just have to make this video a little longer because I think 20 minutes is just not gonna be enough time, especially with how much I'm talking. But I'm still talking, so let's move on. This was hard. I actually like have moved the things out of the way. Like I already knew which way it was gonna go from the get-go. This one I kept them both at the front because I honestly don't know which way it's gonna go. So we have Natasha Denona My Dream and we have Nudie Patootie. So let's start with Nudie Patootie. For color story, to me, one of my favorite color stories. I feel like honestly, really, really good. I'm gonna give it a 5 for color story. If you're looking for a neutral palette, this is a perfect neutral palette, and you have like a little variations of neutral. You have like a pink and a more mustardy shade, but you still have all those neutrals. And I think this was a palette that was truly neutral before like everything was like warm neutral. So I think I love this color story. This is a 5. So for different formulas and textures, there's actually so many different formulas and textures here. There's a slight duochrome pearlized right here. You have those dual chromes that are kind of glittery. You have shimmers. You have, I don't know how to describe this very interesting formula, and then you have those beautiful mattes. So very, very nice textures. This is actually the reason I bought glitter glues, because I didn't know this was like a thing until I got this palette. So this is another formula texture wise, 5. So we're 10 so far. Everyday usage, I mean, it's an everyday palette if we've ever seen an everyday palette, right? So 5. This is like easy peasy. Cover girl. All right, 15. Inspiration. I don't always have the most inspiration when I go to this palette. It's really easy to do different eye looks, but I always also find myself doing the same like 4 eye looks when I do use this palette. So we're gonna go with 3. We're gonna go with 3. So 18. Formula. The formula, top notch. I've said this many times. If you've never tried the Large Los Angeles formula, you are honestly missed out because the it's gone. the what's it called? The brand's gone, right? They shut down. You missed out. This is a beautiful top 3 for sure formulas. So formula 5. Blendability. It builds up. It doesn't give you like a giant like bam in your face from the get-go, although it has quite a bit of pigment, but it's not overwhelming and you can definitely build it up. Formula top notch. Fallout is not really there except for these 2, which are glittery shades, and she did tell you from the get-go you're gonna need some glitter glue for that one, so I'm not mad about it. So 5 for that as well. So 23. For packaging, I'm gonna put it a 3. This is my thing, it's extremely long. Okay, that's the only reason I'm not gonna. I actually like that you can actually like bend this all the way. It has a huge gigantic mirror, so that's not a problem. I love how monochromatic it is. I love how it like raises. I love this. I like the palette itself, but this is long. Okay, so you have the the Natasha Denona here next to it. Like this is a really long palette, and for me that's a problem. I don't like how long it is, so I'm gonna give it a 3. And I forgot where I was at. Let's see. 5, 20, 26. We're at 26. And then the feels, it gives me all the feels. I also have a lot of nostalgia. So we're at 31 because I'm going to give it another 5. This palette gives me all the feels. It's one of my favorite palettes that I've had. It's lost a bit of a spot for me. It's not one of my favorites anymore. But for a very long time, it was one of my favorite palettes that I owned. 31. Okay. Let's see what Natasha brings us. All right. So, color story. I mean, the color story is gorgeous. Like, there's nothing to knock. You have so much variety in this tiny little palette. You can go deep. You can go cool tone. You can go warm. You can go purple, pink. Like, you have... Color story is fabulous. 5. Oh gosh. Different formulas and textures. There's so many different formulas and textures. You have a multi-chrome right here. You have a duochrome. I can't remember which one's a duochrome. I think it's Baby's. You have like the shimmers. You have the cream shades, glittery shades. You have the textures. 5, 10. Okay. Everyday usage. I mean, it's an everyday palette. 15. All right. Inspiration. I struggle. I really struggle. I go to for my like the same go-to looks, but I have a really hard time with this two right here, and I have a hard time incorporating this multi-chrome, which is weird because I love multi-chromes, but I don't know why I really struggle with this one right here. So we're gonna go for 3. So we're at 18. All right, for formula, I mean, Natasha and Laura Los Angeles are literally top 3. Top 3. I'm honestly not sure if Scott Barnes or Persona would be my other 3, to be honest. So that's why I said top 5 for those. But this one, top notch. Chef's Kiss is gorgeous. It's great formula. So blends. It's pigmented from the get-go, but not too pigmented. It's just the right balance. I love this formula. Packaging. I actually love this packaging. I like that it's hard. It has a nice big mirror. Something that I forgot to mention about the Natasha is that these are magnetic. So you can just pop them out and like, you know, move them around if you want to. And I have done that. So the packaging, 5. And then for the feels, okay. I guess Natasha won. The feels is gonna be 4, which is a little bit higher than Laura Los Angeles. Oh, that was hard because if I was just going based off of instinct, I think I would have gone with Nitty Patootie. But the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. So I guess we're going with my dream that moved on. Wow. I did not expect that. This is why I wanted to do it different from previous years, because before I would just go from the feels alone. And if I was going from the feels alone and I had to pick one of those, it would have been Nitty Patootie. But man, that was hard. Okay. You know what it was? It's because I should have gone, it was by packaging. Packaging was just so much better. Anyway, we have Red Dragon from Odin's Eye, one of my faves. Okay. I say that about all my palettes, so like I'm gonna say that about everything. I'm gonna have Golden. Oh, okay. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. This is another one where I could not put them away from the get-go because I think that each palette has something to it. So let's start with Golden, because in theory I should like Golden more, and I don't know that that's the case. So there's something, there's like a, here, there you go. For Color Story, it's a 3. Okay, it's a 3. I like this Color Story. Like, this is right up my alley, but there's really not much to it. Honestly, this could have been a 10-pan palette, and I think that would have been better served. I think it's too many shades in the same Color Story, but you guys know I don't love monochromatic palettes, so why I bought this, I don't know. Do I enjoy having it? Do I regret it? No, absolutely not. But did it make sense? No, it did not. So, Color Story, 3. There's just, you know, there's not much to it. Different formulas and textures. There's actually quite a bit of differentiation. We do have some cream shades. We have the glittery shades. We do have some duochromes. We have, actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, I guess there's not as many as I thought there was. I think there's some variation in the different kinds of finishes that you have, but not as many as I think there might be. At least I'm gonna go with the 4. It's better than others, but it's not as much as I think it should be for Natasha Denona. So we're 7 right now. Everyday usage. I mean, if this is not your everyday palette, I don't know what it is. 12, 5 points for that. Pretty easy. Inspiration. This is another one where I feel like I don't know that I use this. I feel like I go for the same like 4 or 5 looks when I go for this palette, and I think that just has to do with the fact that it is very monochromatic, and it is what it is. So I guess we're gonna go with 3, so that's 15 points. Formula, 5. 20, we're at 20. 5, absolutely. We're formula, top notch. I've said it. I'm just gonna skip the, like, all Natasha Denonas have great palettes, great formulas. So I'm just gonna go with 5. Fallout, not really existent. The blendability, the pigmentation, it's all there. So 5, 20. Packaging. Packaging is gorgeous. Okay. I don't love how reflective it is, but the packaging is beautiful. Again, I love this. The package is almost always the same for Natasha and Donut, so we're gonna kind of skip to that part. So 5. So we're 25. The feels. That feels is 2. So 27 total for this palette because I just don't have the feels. I sometimes forget I have this palette, and it's too expensive for me to forget about this palette. So 27. Okay. All right. And Red Dragon. So this is my thing with Red Dragon. There's some things that I absolutely adore about this palette, and there's some things that I absolutely do not like about this palette. And I don't know where that's gonna land us. I think this is gonna be a roller coaster. Color story. Quite honestly, except for this little red shade right here, I think this is an absolute bomb color story. Judy killed it. Absolutely killed it. This is right up my alley. 5. Love it. Have nothing bad to say about it. Different formulas and textures. If you don't know Odensite is known for these different textures. So you do have the multi-chrome right here. You do have the duochrome here. This is a glitter topper. Obviously the mattes, and then you have just like a plain shimmer. But I actually think, considering how many, there's not that many shimmers, there's a great variety of shimmers in here. It's gorgeous. So 10, I guess. Everyday usage. This is not my everyday palette, okay? Can I make it an everyday palette? Yes, because it does have like the muted shades, so I feel like I could do like every day. But is this an everyday palette for me? No. We're gonna go with 3. It's solid. So at 13, inspiration, another 5 for me. 18. I get so much inspiration when I look at this palette. I like to try different combinations. This one actually inspires me to be more artsy, fancy with my looks. So 18. Okay, formula and blendability. This is where we struggle. This is where we struggle with this palette because I don't always love the formula. I think some of these shimmers can be, there's so much fallout with the shimmers. It's ridiculous. However, the blend, or not the blend, but the shine, the actual like shift is so intense. It's gorgeous, and I feel like that overcompensates for some of that. The mattes are honestly, I have no problem with these mattes. I think they lack a little pigmentation, but they're very buildable, and I think when you have more colorful shades, I think that's the right way to go. So I personally I have no fault with the mattes. I think the mattes are just fine. It's my qualm is with the shimmers. I think, again, the finish, the effect, the color shifts is perfect. It's just that fallout is real. So I guess we're gonna go with 3 because the fallout is really that bad. But honestly, if you don't mind that, you can go higher. So I kind of lost where I was at. I think I was at 15, 18 and 3, 21. Okay, packaging. I mean, if she's not gorgeous, I mean, come on. And this is 100% because I love Judy. We're gonna give it a 5 because I love Judy. Okay. So 26. And then the feels. Okay, we're at 30. I'm gonna give it a 4 for the feels. We won barely by 3 points, but this was hard. I was not expecting that. Okay, we're gonna pick 2 more and then we're gonna call it. But I'm moving here. Red Dragon is going to the next round. All right, and last 2 palettes for this round at least is Ethereal Eyes and Sarah News. I have a feeling I know what that is gonna go, but we'll be right back. I'm pretty confident that Ethereal Eyes is gonna win this one, but here we are. For color story, we're gonna start Sarah News. I'm gonna put this at a 3. I feel like this palette is missing a very essential crease shade, and it's gonna be something that's either a little deeper than this or a little more pinky. I don't know, because this is actually quite warm, and I actually feel like this doesn't quite fit the rest of the aesthetics of this palette. It's kind of hard to explain. I feel like it's missing a little something in the crease section. So to me, that's that. But the shimmers are actually gorgeous. But I think it's missing that transition spot for me. So for color story, we're going 3. For different formulas and textures, we're going 5. I think there's a lot to say here. Even though like this is a shimmer, this is the perfect kind of like shimmer that you can actually like blend and put into your crease because there's a lot of pigment to it. I think this sequin is an actual true sequin where if you wanted to be just pigment on the out, it could be just pigment. If you wanted those shimmers to show, those shimmers will show. And actually in the camera it looks quite shimmery, but this is a very much a sequin shade. But is it, to my opinion, a true sequin shade? You do have the duochrome here, sorry, the multi-chrome here, the duochrome here, and it's just texture, very, very nice, very solid. I really like these mattes as well. There's a little bit more to them. It's not just like matte. I don't know how to explain it. They're not so flat. So for textures, different formulas, we're gonna go 5. So we are currently at 8. Can't do math. Everyday usage. Because it's missing that very, very important to me mid-tone crease shade, this cannot be an everyday palette for me. Because I would have to think about that when I create a look, and I will have to find a way around that. And to me, if I have to do that, I'm not gonna reach for it every day. So we're gonna go with 2. So we're at 10. Inspiration. I actually do like this palette, and I do get inspiration because I want to try different shades. The shimmers are absolutely standout, and so every time I want to get inspired by a different shimmer, and I kind of create looks around the shimmers. So I find that to be very inspirational to me. Like I find inspiration in creating looks around that one shimmer. So to me, this is a 4. So we're at 14. Formula. The formula is honestly really nice. I wish it was more buildable, and it's lacking a little pigment straight off the bat. But it's weird because I feel like the lighter shades lack pigment straight off the bat, and then this ones have too much pigment, and you're having to blend it away. It does blend very easily, but I do struggle with like that middle ground. I feel like I don't think both formulas are made the same way, if that makes sense. Like I don't think it's the same. So I'm gonna go with 4 because the shimmers are honestly really, really nice. The mattes are not perfect for me. So that's what we're doing. So I think I'm at 18. My math is wrong. You already know that. I don't know where my math is at. For packaging, I've never had a palette with this before, like this one before. I do think it's missing a mirror, so I can tell you straight off the bat, I need a mirror. I don't actually use a mirror in my palettes to create my eye looks unless I'm traveling, but I think the packaging is perfect. Like it's honestly actually kind of small, but I never had something that you can actually like prop it out and you can make it like a little canvas, or you can actually completely detach this. I don't want to detach it because I don't want to put it back together, but you can actually detach this all together. Every individual pan can be detached as well. It's all magnetic. So I honestly love, love, love this packaging. So I think the packaging is great. I just, like I said, I wish it had a mirror, but because I don't have anything else like it, I'm still going to give it a 5. So I think we're at 23. Again, my math is all wrong now. I don't even know. And then for the feels, I'm gonna give it a 3. I don't feel very strong about this palette. It could be because I haven't had it for very long. I haven't played with it for that long either. So I don't have the feels yet for it. I don't know how I feel about it. Sometimes I absolutely adore my eye look. Sometimes I don't. So we're gonna give it a 3. I think I'm gonna like, I don't know where I'm at. Okay, color story 3, 5. I don't know. It's not that high. I'm pretty sure the ethereal eye is going to be significantly higher, so I feel like I don't need to do all that math right now. Okay, so ethereal eyes. For color story, I mean, it's a basic bitch, but I love a basic bitch. We're going for 5. And I do rank them differently. I do think this is not meant to be necessarily a neutral palette. I do think it's supposed to have a little bit more to it, and I do look at neutral palettes one way and I look at semi-neutral palettes a different way, like when there's a little bit more to it. I don't know how to explain that any better than that. So for me, as far as neutrals go, this is a 5. I feel like I have everything I want. For different formulas and textures, I think this palette is known for its different textures. I do like this shimmer, I do like this glitter shade, I like the topper shades. The mattes are honestly very nice. So we're going another 5 for this one. I also don't have anything quite like this in my collection, although the Urban Decay windows are kind of similar, and they're not really the same at all either. It's kind of hard to explain. So I do think those are unique and have their place in my collection. And I think within this palette, there's a lot of different textures. So we're going to give it another 5. But it could be a 4. I might change my mind later on in the tournament. We'll see. Everyday usage. I mean, it's a very everyday palette. Any more said? 15. Inspiration. I don't always have the most inspiration. I will say it. I'm going to give it a 4, but I'm just being petty. 19. All right. Formula, blendability, fallout, top notch. I will say though, you cannot tell too much of a difference between these different colors. So I don't know if that makes a difference for you. Formula wise, blendability, fallout, it's perfect. So we're giving another 5, sorry. So we're at 20, 1, 2, 3, yeah, we're at 24. Okay, packaging. I actually love this packaging. Is it my favorite packaging? No. Is it a fine packaging? Yes. Is it weighted? Yes. Does it feel nice and luxe? Yes. Do I feel fancy when I use this? Yes. We're gonna give it a 4. So we're at 28. All right, and then for the feels, this gives me all the feels. We're going another 4. 32? Yeah, 32. I love this palette. So like I said, it was not really a no-brainer. I knew this was. Let's move on. Okay, we're gonna pause it here because again, we still got a lot to do. I'm gonna try to post Friday, and then maybe I'll film some more during the weekend. So expect some extra videos from me this week, especially as we go along, because I would like to finish this by the end of the week. I have other plans for next week. So that's it for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.